Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm going to do an open box review of the latest Maschinien Krieger kit. This is the Melusine, or Melusine, or I don't know, there's a multitude of ways of pronouncing this, but in Japanese it's pronounced Melusine, so I guess seeing that Kawayokiyama, the artist who has designed this, is Japanese and pronounces it that way, why not follow? So a lot of the names you'll know if you've followed, actually I'll get my hand out of there, follow some sort of German type of naming system. I'm not too sure what this actually means, if it is German at all. But you can see the resemblance of the designs and also the color schemes of German World War II type armor. And that's the one of the main influences on Kawayokiyama's work on his Maschinien Krieger range. So let's look from the top. So with any Maschinien Krieger release, there's always a brand new box art. So this is the new artwork, and signed down here from Kawayokiyama with a 2022. It's also the 40th anniversary of this year. So there's been quite a few releases with the 40th anniversary marking, and they've been enhanced with either special decals or even little badges. And this one has a little badge included inside. Now, quite a few of these parts have been new tooling. The basis of this came from the new tooling of the P.K.A.s, which got released, I think it was last year. And then there's additional parts which I'll go through when we look through the kit. So here we've got a few more details of the finished kit. There is a new figure that's been sculpted for this as well. So let's have a look inside. Open this up. All right, so we've got 10 colored pieces this time around. It does vary a bit from kit to kit. And that also helps to, I guess, identify the different editions of these, because quite often people will be buying these as collector type models and not necessary to build. And when they're traded in the future, this helps to recognize which version kit and whether or not it's got the correct colored pieces inside. Okay, let's put this aside and let's look at this first bag. Okay, so there's 3 sprue in this particular bag. Oh, there's 4 actually. Okay, so some of these have the markings of cows on them. Okay, so cows and wave. So this is the common parts that are shared amongst these models of mech or armored suit. Same with this section here. The main differences between the cows and Melusine is basically the rear end section, the backpack. Now the weaponry here, this is actually off of Gustav. Okay, because they use a similar sort of, what do they call these again? Not the Panzerschreck. These were the Panzerfaust looking weapons. So you had that big charge on the front and then the handle, but they've added an additional handle here to make it easier for the mech to carry. Let's get in nice and tight. Let's go with this one here. All right, so this is the weaponry, the Panzerfaust. Now, if you get the right angle there, you'll be able to see that. It says Gustav and wave. So it's a fairly new retooling. So as you can see, it's very, very clean. Got that caged end part here, and here's the main charge. Okay, so you've got a couple of options for the size of the charge. Very clean. Okay, from there, keep that zoomed in. Here is the frontal section. So that's the frontal armor. These holes are for the arm exits, and then this is the hatch which opens and closes to reveal the pilot. Got some of the joints here. So I've got a hip joint. And this one here, I'm not too sure. That could be the arm joints. That'll be mounted from the inside. You can see exactly how clean that is. And then across the top of the molding, you'll see how it's been marked as cows. So that's quite a new molding, and that's why it looks so clean. Very nice. Okay, well, I'll go zoomed in. I'll grab this other small piece. So this is the rear end. So this is the cover for the fan unit. So you can see the mesh and the fan detail. There's an exhaust here as well. You can see from there. So I've seen quite a few people actually replace this with real mesh. so you can actually see through there, give it a little bit more depth. And then also some people actually drill this out, but that's like any model. You can drill parts out to give them extra depth. And then this part is marked as Melusine, so that's one of the new molding parts. Okay, let's pull this back out for a moment while we look at this large sprue. So we've got interior parts here. Okay, so that's basically the upholstery area, and the pilot bust will be sitting in here. We've got part of the front end of the, well, that's the interior, I guess, of the hatch. We've got some armor plate. So getting a bit tighter. Okay, so you can see the padding detail on the insides of that compartment. Then there's the interior. It's got very much of a look of the MK44. You see these slots here. This is actually for the arms to open up the hatch. So that's for the hinge. And the block there to accept the pilot. There's some armor there. So all this is quite new. This is also marked as for cows. Okay, let's bring out another bag. So it's got some chunky bits, and a lot of these are going to be new. Okay, this is part of the hatch, which is the same as the cows. This is the profile right there. So that's the part that's going to be opening up like so, to reveal the pilot's head, which would be about that section. So again, fairly new molding, so it's very clean, got nice panel lines. This is the lower section that caps over here. And then we've got the interior of the hatch as well. And if you're following Cow's recent works, he's actually used this section, and he's produced a drone looking effect rather than having a pilot inside. And that's from his vast imagination. He's come up with that. Okay, so that's the hatch section. Now, while we're still zoomed in, let's have a look at this new figure. Okay, so we have the figure here. Really nicely cut mold. Super detailed. And it's interesting the way they've designed shapes as well, because this is basically designed to press together. Although a lot of Mac builders will glue this together, just to make sure it's permanent. If you didn't want to use glue, that's still a possibility. Okay, so super nice face. Now on the artwork, this actually looks like a female's face, although I have seen this portrayed as a child's face as well. It's all got to do with the painting. Over here we have the bust section, the torso. What's the upper shoulders, isn't it? Super clean, very nice natural looking folds in the fabric. And then we have the helmet. Helmet's all molded in one with the goggles separate here, which will press on the top of the helmet. And then there's also the separate mouthpiece, or I guess the mask, breathing mask. So very nice. Really like that. Quite easy to have the helmet separate without a figure inside. So you can just have that sitting on the outside, I guess, when you're making a little vignette. But yeah, the face is spectacular. Really well done. Okay, so I'm going to open that up again because we've got a bigger piece here. So this is the brand new bits for the Melusine. Okay, this is all the rear sections of the armor. You've got the gun arm, the antenna, the backpack with the fan unit. So hence, if you decide to cut open that filter that I showed before, and you put some your own mesh across that, you'll be able to see all this detail inside. A really nice part is there's casting numbers, very World War II style. Just look across here. That was a really nice touch. Then here's the detail of the fan unit. Then you've got various parts of the armor. So it could be for the thighs. And then we've got this section for the gun. There's the antenna. Very nice, all the brand new bits. As you can see from here, Melusine. It's all marked. All right, let's pull that out. We've got some more bits to go through. Some of these clear bits. May not be able to see much here. Actually, I should have zoomed that in. There's a nice number of clear parts. You don't see it very often, but these would be a great project to put some small LED lights. Only needs to be subtle, doesn't need to be full strength, and shining through here just adds so much more depth. And being 1/20th scale, they do have plenty of room to put in your wiring and all the LEDs. It's not a problem at all. Okay, let's pop that in here. All right, so we've got one more bag of sprue left. Okay, so there's quite a number here. Let's get that out again. Okay, so 3 in all over here. Let's look at the black one. So these are all your joints. These are in a softer vinyl type of plastic. You'll notice here that we've got this shape, and this is indicative of slide molding. So not just top and bottom, there's also a piece that comes through the side, so that all these joints can have these holes in them. Okay, so you've got the joints here with the detail of the, I don't know, it's like a slinky looking joint detail. You've got hoses. They've got a really nice shape to them. You've got knee joints and elbow joints. And these were all for the good stuff. So right there. Let's get a zoom in. There's the good stuff there. So I guess the good stuff, I don't remember exactly. I think the good stuff must have been a fairly new mold, because this is very, very nice tooling here, especially with the slide molding. It'd be nice to see another good stuff released in the very near future. So there's all your joints. So this is where I'm talking about. I really like this detail here amongst these joints. You see that the mold lines are very, very fine as well. So if you want to do a quick build and you're one of those that doesn't glue and just want your model together, it'll look very, very decent, because you won't need to clean that up much. And if you do want to clean it up, it won't take very much effort. So there's the hoses with the rib detail. And then you've got various poly caps for the joints, because if you weren't aware that these can be posed after completing. And here's those funky shapes which I told you that deal with the slide molding here for the joints. Okay, so that's that. What do we got here? All right, we've got some more armor parts in the other section of the laser arm. Okay, so one half was over there before. This particular part is marked as good stuff. So you've got armor plate, the hands, and the various fingers. Let's have a bit of a tighter look in there. There's the armor detail. Here's the other side of the arm gun. So this would be the upper section of that arm. Got some joints, ball joints. There's the fingers. You can see how nicely molded they are with the joins there. No why, but that looks slightly out of focus, does it? Oh, there we go. Got the main parts of the hands right there, and the backs. And they've all got ball joints on them as well. Okay, and then the final piece of sprue is basically the legs. So we've got feet, And there's some really nice detail underneath the boots there. So there's a detail under the boots. We've got knee armor. Plate here which I'm not familiar with, so that must go in the main frame there somewhere. This particular part's also marked as good stuff. So you've got lower leg portions, upper, and here's the halves for the feet, and then you've got some joints. Okay. Now, while we're still zoomed in, let's have a look at this. This is the commemorative badge that you get offered with these. This is a silver one. There have been gold ones around as well. And that's to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Maschinien Krieger. Nice spade, because quite often his motifs or his divisional markings do have these sort of card references. And then you've got a SAF's profile in there as well. That's really cool. Okay, so what else have we got? So we'll be left with the decals. So the decals will be different as well. So these would never been issued before. So there'll be a new design for this particular kit. See here for Melusine, and then you've got your different divisional markings. There's a 40th anniversary mark as well there. You've got some stenciling, like warning marks, and then you've got divisional numbers. So that's a very much a German type armor thing from World War II. Very much the typography as well, it's quite similar, and also a lot of these designs have been influenced from real markings from World War II. So that's nice. All right, let's zoom this out a bit and have a look at the manual. Again, we've got the box art manual on the front. And then let's get into the actual build. So we start off with the bodywork. So you've got the back sections here with, this is where that turbine fan unit was. Interior is going in. You've got a bit of piping that's been sandwiched in place. Some polycaps to go onto the cockpit area. So obviously the front will be able to slide off and open up. And then other half going in, and you have a sub-assembly happening. And then we start getting into the front sections. So this is the front of the hatch. You see how that just presses onto those 3 polycaps to be held in place. Okay, from here we've got the actual opening hatch. So that's glued into place, or pressed into place, I guess. And so that can open and close. Start putting on the antenna and some of the armor around the outsides of the main torso. Same with the other side. And then at the back, here's that final detail with the mesh holder. And then there's a handle. And then we get into building of the legs. So in the middle here, these are those soft, darker colored polycaps. And they're sandwiched between the outsides of the upper leg and the lower leg. And then we've got the foot with the ball joint. Over here, that's the other side. So you've got your right and your left leg. And then we start getting into the arms. Okay, so we've got the, this is the right arm with the armored panel. We've got the hands going into place. It's quite interesting how all these fingers are individual. So you've got really tight detail there. And then we've got the left arm, which is actually the weaponized arm. So you've got the upper section, lower section with the actual laser in it. And then for the other hand, the right hand, we've got the 2 options for the different kinds of Panzerfaust. And then we've got the pilot figure here. And then all those sub-assemblies are pressed together. They all just snap together because it's polycapped and they're flexible. And then pilot goes inside. Choose which weapon you like in the hand. And that's it. And then we have a painting guide at the very end. So to get the right colors as per the box art, we do have mixing ratios here. It is all in Japanese, but with the latest Google Translate app, you'll be able to put your mobile over this and it'll translate it in real time. So you don't need to know any Japanese and you'll be able to work that out quite quickly. So there we go. That is the beautiful Melusine. So thank you for watching. This was my open box review of the latest Maschinen Krieger or Ma.K Melusine in 1/20th scale. It's a kit from Wave, and it's been released for the 40th anniversary of the Maschinen Krieger universe. So K.A designed that, and it's one of their newest kits. So a lot of new parts in here, and it's great. I love it, and I hope you love it too. So thank you for watching. If you like this open box review, please give me a like below, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please think about subscribing. So thank you.